the burnt fence, the fire. The summer in New South Wales had been dry, too dry. The gum trees stood like matchsticks, and the red dust curled off the roads like whispers of smoke. 12-year-old Jack Brodie lived on a small cattle station with his grandfather, Pop Roy, a man as rugged as the land and twice as stubborn. One afternoon, while Pop Roy was in town, Jack and his friend Leo decided to play with a box of old fireworks they found in the shed. "Just one," Jack said. "Out near the old fence line. Nobody goes there." But the spark that shot into the sky came down hard. It didn't explode, it ignited. Within seconds, the dry grass crackled and spread flames like fingers across the earth. The boys ran for water, but it was too late. By the time the fire was out, an entire section of fencing, a corner of the hay shed, and 2 gum trees had been reduced to charred black bones. Pop Roy came home to smoke still rising from the field. He didn't say a word, just stared at the ashes. The silence. For the next 2 days, Pop Roy didn't speak to Jack, not even to scold him. Jack helped him rebuild the fence in silence. Every nail he hammered felt heavier than the last. Every board, a reminder. On the 3rd day, as they worked at sunset, Pop Roy finally said, "It was your idea?" Jack nodded. "Yes, sir." Pop Roy took off his dusty hat and wiped his forehead. "And you know what you did was wrong?" "Yes, sir. I'm really sorry." Pop Roy studied the sky like he was thinking hard. Then he looked back at Jack. "All right, then we move on." Jack blinked. "That's it?" Pop Roy gave a half smile. "Son, if you carry every bad choice like a backpack of rocks, you won't have any strength left for the right ones. We learn. We fix what we can, and then we forgive." The neighbor, but not everyone was so forgiving. Their neighbor, Mrs. Doolan, had lost part of her fence too. She came storming over with her big sun hat and louder voice. "That boy of yours could have burned down the whole valley," she yelled. Pop Roy stood calm as stone. "I understand. He's sorry. He'll help fix your fence." She huffed. "Sorry, don't grow fence posts." Jack offered to help rebuild hers too, which he did every weekend for the next month. Mrs. Doolan didn't say thank you, not at first. But on the last day, as Jack hammered the final plank, she brought out lemonade. "You've done all right, boy," she said, handing him a glass. "Don't go setting fires again, you hear?" Jack grinned. "No, ma'am." The lesson. Years later, long after Pop Roy had passed on, Jack stood on the same land now his own. He was older, wiser, and his own son had just driven the quad bike through the barn wall. Jack took a breath and shook his head. His son stood there, pale as milk. "Are you mad?" the boy asked. Jack smiled and said, "Only if you don't learn from it." Moral of the story: forgiveness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that people mess up, and healing is better than holding on to harm. In the wide open land of the Outback or the tight corners of the heart, forgiveness lets you breathe again.